So we're here early so we can kind of look around. Some of the bikes are still rolling in, but I'm going to show you some of them before all the people show up. This is a 1977 Yamaha RD400 street tracker. I think we saw that at the ride yesterday. Good looking bike, pretty unusual. A 1976 Yamaha TT500. A 1981 Yamaha TT500. A little bit taller, isn't it? A lot taller, actually. This looked familiar from last year, but maybe not. It's a 1973 Bultaco 250 M103 Pursang. I don't think that Bultaco made them quite this shiny, do you? She's a beauty. This is something fairly unusual in the fact how it's set. It's a 1972 Norton with a red line frame on it. It's a 750. And if you like flat track bikes, you're bound to like this one. Well, staying with the Norton theme, I just saw a 72 750 bike Norton over there. This is 1952. This is a model 88.
Well, it's the only thing that I changed on it is the tank. I changed the tank, but it's like I said, an 88 Model 7. They made them from 52 to 64. A Dominator. You've probably seen the Dominator. It's the first year of the Dominator right there. They basically just took ES2 frames, and, you know.
I didn't see it here at last year's show. Was it here?
No, I've never brought it to the show. I got a few, a lot of other bikes, but just never brought a bike here.
Well, thanks again, Mark. Yeah. My name's Jerry.
Yeah.
Here's a BSA Gold Star. The old one, not the new one. I think the new one looks pretty nice, but doggone, you have to go a long way to get as good looking as the old one, wouldn't it? One mile. This is a BMW Land Speed Racer. You can see from the tag on here. So kind of looks like Fred's. I don't know if that's Fred's. Fred Wiley's 1978 R100 with a turbocharger. He had a turbo on his. I went faster than he did out of Bonneville, though. I don't think his turbo was working. We'll see if Fred's here today, but I think it looks like Fred's bike. Here's a 1980 Honda 1000 CBX. It's a local bike. Looks really nice. $19.80.
Check out the miles on it.
Is that really miles? That's the miles? Things never...
It had 9 miles on it when I bought it.
You didn't ride it?
Huh?
You didn't ride it? I'm going to shoot this purple 1975 Kawasaki 750 H2, which is a beauty. It's mine and Carol's favorite color, and the H2 is the purple. This looks exactly like my brother's bike that I used to borrow. It's a 1969 Honda 350. And I used to go up these hills, and we got one big hill and about 40 miles away, and see how fast I could go going down it, laying down flat on the seat, you know, feet hanging out. And I did a couple dumb things with this bike. I thought it needed a little oil, so I filled it up here. I kept filling it up because I couldn't see it. I didn't know any better, and I blew about every seal in it. One time I was riding a bike, and the spark plug blew out when I was riding a bike, and it blew out with the lead still on there. And I grabbed a hold of it when I was riding down the road. That was the last time I ever did anything that dumb. Like to kill me. And we got 3 bikes. I'm going to put them all together. We got a 1972 Suzuki GT380. They weren't very fast. They were pretty smooth. They were pretty reliable. A little bit more reliable, I think, than my Kawasaki at the time. You know, 72 is about the last time you're going to see the drum brakes on any of these bikes. So this is a pretty nice rider here. It's got about 7,000 miles on it. It's got the patina on it, as does the one next to it. So they also made in 1972 a 550 GT750. And what they call ram air on both of these, those little scoops on the top. As far as I really know, I don't think the scoops did anything with the bike to help it. And again, this is a rider with a patina on it. About the same mileage as the other one, 7,000. And to top it off, for 1972, was the GT750, or the Water Buffalo. And one guy, I think, owns all 3 of these. This is a gold model, and you can tell the 72 to 73. 72 they had a drum brake right here. Then they switched to the disc brake. Got 3 1972s right here. We're looking at a 1971 Kawasaki. This is a G4 TR. I think it's a Trail Boss. It's 100 cc's and it has a dual range in it. I just don't remember them being that short, Roy.
Short?
Yeah, low down to the ground.
Yeah, it's amazing when you see bikes that you thought were big back when you were little yourself, younger.
Yeah. I just don't remember it. It's got the little switch over here for the transmission. I don't think mine had metallic paint on it. I think it was just a flat.
This guy cleaned his knob.
Very sharp Moto Guzzi, 1960.
Ooh, I'm freezing.
73 cc's. Check out the fender art. I'm assuming that came with it. I don't know. If it didn't, it should have. This, ladies and gentlemen, has made me a lot of money, this particular motorcycle. It's R1200C. When they first came out, they introduced them in Tucson, Arizona. And so they were driving around town a lot. And I think I sold 15 of these when they came out. And I don't want to offend anybody, but it's probably the worst BMW I've ever ridden. It would make you piss blood. But I sold 50 of them right off as soon as they came out, and didn't sell another one after those 15. But this didn't work well for BMW. 1977 R100 RS. It's a 1000 cc bike. You know, BMW came and did these full fairings. This kind of followed the R90 S that we're going to see next bike. This is not a good example of one. It's a little rough. So next door we have the burnt orange 1975 R90S. A few mods to it. It looks like a running bike, you know, riding bike. It's certainly not, you know, it's not to scratch, but it looks pretty good for being that it's old. The unique part of this was always, to me, was the cockpit on this. This has got 55,000 miles, so it's a rider. I'll give them that. This is a 1977 R100 RS. To me, it looks a little bit better shape than the first one I looked at. You know, a lot of these came with the Krauser bags that you see on the touring BMWs at the time, which is part of it. This is a sport touring bike, and it's a very good one. Very good one. This one's got 85,000 miles on it, but it looks in a little bit better shape than the blue one. Although it's selling for a little bit less, it's 10,500, I think. Not to ignore the small bikes, here's a 1980 Sachs 50cc bike. That's pretty cool. It's got your pedals with it and everything. Mag wheels. It's a low quality decals. Nice little stinger on the exhaust. Everything you need, up to 40 miles an hour.
It's a 59 Indian Fire Arrow.
Yeah, 59 Indian.
Fire Arrow.
Yeah, and he rode it in yesterday for the ride, and we asked him, and he was like, he's taking his helmet off and going, and he says, the tires, tell him about the tires you were riding on.
That bike was bought brand new by a fellow, and he had it from 59 until he died, and I bought it from his son, and the tires have never been changed. They've never had flats or anything. It's the 1959 tires. The date codes are on them. They're Dunlops that came on the motorcycle. He put it in the shed in 1966 and stripped all the paint off it with aircraft paint stripper and was going to paint it. And then the fellow got cerebral palsy. Yeah. And then he wasn't able to do stuff. And so he put it in the garage, and it sat there until I bought it from him, from his son. He died. But that's what. And I got the original title and the original everything.
Did you ride on the ride with that yesterday?
Oh yeah, I ride it all the time with everything on it. It's just like it is when I got it, and it hadn't run since 1966.
This is a picture of a true motorcyclist who would ride a bike with 41, and 23. That's like 64-year-old tires.
It's 64 years old. I was born in 59, and that's why one of the reasons I got that bike, because I was after it for. It took me 8 years to get it because the son wouldn't sell it. Yeah. But then when his dad died, he said, you know what? If you still want that, come and get it. And it was in California, 30 miles from San Francisco is where they lived, and I went and picked it up.
But you live in Idaho now.
I live in Caldwell.
Yeah, I've seen you around.
Yeah.
So this is what Idaho riders can do. Thanks for chatting with me. I appreciate it. Here's a 1971, owned by the same fellow I was just talking to with the BSA. I mean, not BSA. I keep saying BSA. It's an Indian. It's a 1959 Indian. These are his bikes right here. This is 1971 Italia Jet, 70 cc's. He used to be, he was telling me after, he used to be a motorcycle technician. He put a lot of these bikes together. including that 1975 down there. We just saw that purple 1975 750 H2. He put that together. So it's another one of his bikes, I believe. It's a 1954 BSA. Rod Ransom. And I think this is the third of his bikes. It's a 1972 Yamaha. Well, isn't that just cute as can be? Most people don't know that Bridgestone in the 1960s made a bike, and this is a rotary valve bike. I remember seeing those and racing against one of them. It run pretty good. So this is a 1967 Bridgestone GTR 350 with rotary valve, and Bridgestone, like I said, didn't make for a long time, but this is a good running bike right here, as I remember. I've run against them, and I ended up beating them, but I think it was really a lot closer than it was with the Honda 350s at the time. A lot of style with this Bridgestone. Look at this narrow seat. I guess everybody was a little bit smaller back in those days. This is some of the Union motorcycles here. This is Luke Ransom. I think it's probably kin to Rod. This is a 1974 Norton Commando. They do some really, really beautiful work.
Isn't that a cool Norton?
It passed cool a long time ago, didn't it? Really, they do some really good work at Union Cycles. And that's here in IR. And right over here, this is a beauty. It was here last year. It's 1971 Ducati 450 Desmo. And it's one of the sharpest bikes that you'll see also here. Very cool.
Okay, all right.
2 zeros to the line.
All right. So there's 2600. There's a dead.
This says it's a Honda DuHamel Kawasaki 500 H1R. That if Honda DuHamel wrote it, it was probably
Mike, where do you want this dirt bike?
broken. Honda DuHamel. A lot of people know his son Michael, but Honda was a famous racer for Kawasaki from Canada in the 1970s, and he'd either win or crash his bike. And I probably remember seeing these things in the motorcycle magazines back in the time, and it was probably a lot better shape than it is now. But it's a piece of history anyway, isn't it? Look at this one. We saw this. I don't remember if we saw it last year or not. It's a 1973 Moto Guzzi El Dorado police bike. It's on Jeff Morris here. And it's cool. It's so old school, it's cool. Got your lights. Got your key there. Your boxes for your tickets. Showing 5786 on miles. Floorboards. Real nice. It's showing us a 1965 BMW R50. Was it here last year? I don't remember seeing it here last year.
First time here.
And so, how long have you had it?
About 2 years.
About 2 years? Now you're
BMW bug there.
you're a young guy to catch this BMW bug. How'd you do that?
I just happened across a black R50, and once I started riding it, gotta have the other ones, so the other colors. So I have the military green, the Dover white, buttons in red, and then there's the black.
You can't say.
So this is one of my favorite though.
He's a youngish guy to be having this bike, and I'm glad to see that you got it.
Thank you.
It looks really nice. So, how do you find riding the bike? How do you?
It's like riding a Swiss watch.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's just really smooth, and everything works perfect. Just a very phenomenal bike.
Now, how are you managing that Kickstarter?
It's real easy.
Okay.
For the most part.
Yeah. It's got the Earl's type front end. It's got the drum brakes still. Of course, it would have 1960s. These are, to me, these are some of the prettiest BMWs ever made because
Right.
they got that Art Deco styling.
Yes.
And just
It's not fast, but it runs good.
this is the KH400. It's 1976. I had a 1973 S2A 350, but this one is a lot nicer than my bike. Of course, I crashed mine quite a bit. Expansion chambers on this, and got some K&Ns on it. And right next door to it is a Kawasaki 500 triple. It's a blue and white, really, really nice. Looks like it's a rider. It's nice, but not too nice. Well, it's a little bit later in the day. As you can see, it's picked up on a number of people here. I think there's a couple bikes I haven't seen. It's a Ducati Super Sport 900. It's a 1995. It's before they got really fancy. Very nice. 8241 on miles. So I think I pretty much saw all the bikes. There's one bike here that I didn't really. Oh yeah, I did. I did that Bridgestone. No, I didn't do this Bridgestone. It's a 1966 Bridgestone SR 175 factory racer. '71 Honda CB750. It looks like it's a rider. It's a daily rider. I think. It's been repainted, of course. KZ650 here. '77. Then we've got a Super Sport 750 here. It's got the 4-into-1. It's 1976. So that would be the 750F. A 1980 Harley Davidson FLT. This is America. So there you go. It's humongous. Let's get the King Tour pack on it.
That was homemade.
I don't know who's going to win what. I've seen a lot of pretty bikes here. This 1962 Velocet 500cc. And I don't know that you can capture the color here, but it's kind of a deep metallic blue, and it is strictly gorgeous. I expect this to win something. This is too pretty not to win something. Look at the fishtail. Now BMW, that's how you do a fishtail. I think it probably got a 6-volt battery on it. I think it's 254 miles. I want to see everything you need on a motorcycle. Center stand and a jiffy stand. It's a 1972 Triumph Trident. It's a good example of one. It's, I suppose I wouldn't say it's exceptionally, it's not overly restored. I think it's very clean. I think it's a good rider. It's got kind of the purple and white. I think the guy that owns Valiset also owns this one. Very nice example. Got the brake on the left side. This is 1953. Look how low this is. This is probably 27 inches off the ground from the seat to the floor. Got the scrambler pipe on there. Very cool. Very cool. 1974, right next to it's 1973. This next bike looks like it has been. It's a Royal Enfield. It's an old Royal Enfield, the granddaddy to this is 1967 Interceptor 750, which would be the granddaddy to the current Interceptor 650, I guess. This was actually made in England. And to be honest, this one looks to me, style-wise, I like a little bit better than the new one. But the new one is a very nice, resembles it a lot, and they did a nice job with the lines on the new one too. This is 1964 BSA 650 Thunderbolt. Got the American style bars on it. Hi fellas. I'll get out of your way here. It's got a license plate on it. And it looks like it's current. Or fairly current. 1956 Matchless G80. Then right here we got Richard 1952 Red Hunter 500cc Ariel Red Hunter. Talked to Richard a little bit yesterday. Richard's 88 now. Used to be a moto journalist. This is David Miller's 1934 BSA. David has several bikes here. David's a fairly young guy, but he's got a lot of the old classics. You know, it's good to see somebody that's younger that appreciates some of the older stuff, because most people around here are only interested in the stuff they grew up with. So Roy, how long have you had this this bike here?
Got it in 2011.
2011?
Yeah. Lived in my living room for 6.5 years.
So this is the first time it's been on your living room for
6.5 years.
I've had it at this show twice before.
Yeah. So what all have you done to the bike since you've got it, Roy?
It was mostly restored when I got it, but I had a lot of parts from a 75, and I changed a lot of the hardware and some of those parts just to make it as good as I was willing to make it. It took about 9 months to get it. All the cables, when I could still get some parts for it. I had parts coming from all over the country to improve it. And it runs real good, but it hasn't ran since 13.
10 years.
Yeah.
Thanks to the club for putting on such a good event. Entrants came from 9 different states. The awards were given to 4 American brands, 6 Japanese brands, and 9 European brands. The award winners can be seen in my first part 1 of my video, which will be, the link will be in the comments section of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Join me and my friends at Flat Cap Cafe Racer for riding and racing. Please subscribe.